19:28 and 29. After this, when Jesus knew that all was now finished, he said, in order to fulfill the scripture, "I am thirsty." A jar full of sour wine was standing there, so they put a sponge full of the wine on a branch of hyssop and held it to his mouth.
I Am Thirsty. In his memoir made into the 1992 film A River Runs Through It, Norman MacLean writes about his family highs and lows. A mutual touching point for his father and brother was fly fishing trout in the cold, clear waters of Montana. His book concludes with, "All things merge into one, and a river runs over rocks from the basement of time. Under the rocks are the words, and some of the words are theirs. I am haunted by waters." The Bible is haunted by water. From the very beginning, the Spirit hovers over the waters before it is divided into the sea and sky. The Red Sea is divided to allow the Israelites to escape before Moses strikes rocks to allow them to drink. Drinking is a life necessity, whether you are here or in the aridity of the Bible lands. Wells are dug and become meeting places for things to happen. Jacob's well becomes a place where Jesus asks for a drink and ends up revealing that he can give water that will stop people being thirsty. We are reminded of that great vision in Ezekiel of the river of life, so fresh that it allows the Dead Sea to be transformed into a place of abundant biodiversity. And of course we have the marvellous link to Cana, when Jesus turns water into wine, wine which we know will eventually symbolize the blood of the new covenant. On the cross, Jesus is thirsty. His thirst is dealt with using a staple of the Roman army, posca, a mix of water and vinegar and herbs. As a scientist, I can guess the vinegar is there to reduce the chances of making people ill, but it must have been an interesting taste. On another level, since vinegar is literally soured wine, that's why vin aigre, like French, an interesting parallel with wine as the symbol of the new covenant used in communion. Jesus, he from whom streams of living water flow, was cut off from the source when he was on the cross, which may have created not a physical thirst, but a spiritual thirst. What therefore do we thirst for? In this time of isolation, what is satisfying our thirst? It is interesting that Jesus offers himself twice in John 4:14 and John 7:38 to be the source of living waters. And this Easter, my prayer is that we will also, isolated as we all are, be thirsty for Jesus, who promises the thirsty in Revelation that he will give water without cost from the spring of the water of life, which flows from the throne of God and of the Lamb. Be haunted by that water. Amen.
So let us learn how to serve, and in our lives enthrone Him, each other's needs to prefer, for it is Christ we're serving. This is our God, the servant King. first learn